Good afternoon. I hope everyone's out there watching today. I'm here with Brian Patrick Flynn up in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we are touring the HGTV Urban Oasis house that Brian just finished designing. Brian does a wonderful job. Every time I've ever visited any of his houses, they are absolutely gorgeous. So I know you're going to have fun looking around today. I've already done some Instagram stories, so when you get a chance, go look at some of those rooms I posted and the backyard and the porch and all that. But
you already posted some of those?
I did.
Nice.
But here's Brian. I'm going to ask him a few questions, so I hope y'all are here tuning in. First, I want to ask about this pink door. Let's look at that and tell me about the pink door, Brian.
Man, this pink door has been a thing. The pink door has been a thing at HGTV Dream Home.
Yep.
Interior designers, we all have very specific aesthetics usually, but when you're designing these giveaway homes, you can't really have an aesthetic. You have to think about the masses and designing with all different types of styles to make sure you appeal to a bunch of people, because my job is to get people to want to sign up to win the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing that I learned through a lot of my editors at HGTV.com is that blue and white, everybody likes it.
They do.
Do you?
I
do.
love blue and white. Yeah, I really do.
People can have aversion to red or the darker colors.
Yeah.
But nobody seems to have a negative reaction to blue and white. So the idea was, let's do a bunch of blue and white this house. Mm-hmm. And then when the exterior was done, I kept thinking, there needs to be something about the front of this house that every time somebody drives by, they remember it, or they call it something. So we decided to go with millennial pink because if you look at it,
works.
And it's such a big Instagram thing. Have you noticed that all designers, like age 34 and under, they have a ton of this blush tone?
Mm-hmm.
So
they do. Yeah.
there was to stay ahead of the trend, do a color that would get people thinking, but also do something that kind of made the house a little bit more edgy. So that's a very long answer, but it has been controversial, but I stand by the pink.
Hey, I like it. I think it looks great. Look at the flowers, kind of pulls the pink, and this rug just really sets it off. So I say kudos on the pink door. I like it a lot. So tell me about the inside. They're going to see some Instagram stories that I did on the inside. So tell me about your design inspiration for that.
So the house is a Craftsman. I think the house was either made in the 19-teens or the 1920s. And this is the third year in a row I've done a Craftsman home for HGTV Urban Oasis. Most of the time when it comes to Craftsman, most designers stick with historical color palettes, which would be like deep greens or ochres or mustard yellows. I didn't want to do that this year because the neighborhood that we're in is called 4th and Gill.
Okay.
This is a very pedestrian, up-and-coming, cool young neighborhood in downtown Knoxville.
Yeah.
The inside pays homage to all of the architectural significance of the house. So, like I have coffered ceilings, we have really big trim. The cabinets in the kitchen are very much influenced by the Frank Lloyd Wright style, but the furniture is young. So
I love that kitchen, by the way. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Right?
Yeah, I need to Instagram that one. I haven't done that on stories.
The kitchen is
beautiful.
I'm sure the kitchen is going to be a really big hit. So the kitchen is all blue and white again, but the interior is by no means, it is not decorated like a regular Craftsman. The interior architecture of Craftsman, but the house is eclectic. Mm-hmm. It's light.
Like you.
I'm very eclectic, yes. And it's very light and bright, and it's transitional. There's a big mix of modern and traditional living room.
Okay, I love that. All right, now one other thing I want to bring up is Iceland.
Iceland.
Every time I see you on Facebook or Instagram, you are in Iceland doing some crazy thing like sliding down a glacier or doing something crazy.
Or sleeping in an igloo.
Yes, tell me about Iceland. What is the deal?
So I fell in love with it 2 years ago. I went when I first came on board with HGTV as the interior designer of HGTV Urban Oasis and HGTV Dream Home. We had an amazing year in 2015, so I took my whole team with me, my photographers, my stylist, my art director. I wanted to do an amazing trip that everybody would never forget.
Was that your first time there?
It was December 2015, and most of us fell in love with it and became obsessed with it. And I found myself in my late 30s. I didn't have children, and I was like, it would be amazing to have an experience to have like a summer house somewhere.
Yeah.
So we bought
summer house in Iceland,
which is the nice time to go.
That's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it?
I know, right? Summer and ice. But I think what my obsession with it is the most beautiful place I've ever been in my entire life. The level of intelligence among the people there is just unbelievable. The education is through the roof. It's a very quick flight. You can fly from New York through JFK for 5 hours or from Boston for 4 hours and 10 minutes. It's a very quick flight.
Wow, you got it down.
We got it down, man. And then also the light. So much that I do with my work is photography based because the houses that I do. Basically from like the beginning of June all the way to almost the end of August, you get between like 18 and 23 hours of sunlight, and it's beautiful sunlight. So there was all these different, it's good for my work, it's good for me to relax, but I've also just fallen in love with the idea of just being in a different place. Where'd you grow up?
In Georgia.
So I grew up in Florida, so you and I are both like one state away.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted something, now that I've gotten to my early 40s, I wanted something new and fresh. And also, I am obsessed with HGTV House Hunters. Do you ever watch House Hunters?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So I was watching House Hunters International, and that's when it clicked. I'm like, why don't I reach out to my friends at HGTV and see if they'd want to cover it? And they said yes. So we bought the house on House Hunters
Oh, you
International.
did?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah,
I've watched
yeah.
a bunch of international ones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I missed that. I bet that was fun.
Oh, they're on forever though. You know, they
it'll
play
come
like
back
crazy.
around.
Yeah.
So tell me about the house there. What is it like?
So we bought the top floor of a very traditional Reykjavik row house downtown.
Okay.
And I completely remodeled it. Had a very good experience. I found a local contractor. We did the whole thing in about 6 weeks. Completely gutted it. And we just photographed it for print. So it'll be out in magazines next May.
Nice.
And
You were everywhere.
yeah, it's been a good few years. I can't complain.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm kind of getting sick of myself though. But I love it there. I'm really proud of the house. I spent the summers there.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, there's a very large truck going by. We're waiting for the truck to go by. I fell in love with the country. I wanted to be in a different place during the summer. The temperature there, it's sweater weather all year, all summer round. So
Okay.
from, I would say, May till August, every day you just need a light sweater, and it's beautiful. And I just like being out. Where's your favorite place?
Oh gosh, well I love
Savannah?
the beach. I like Savannah, yeah.
You got married in Savannah
I
last
did.
month, right?
I did. A month ago today.
A month ago today, married in Savannah.
But yeah, I love the beach. I'm a beach girl.
We're opposites then. I like to wear a
You like
jacket.
cold,
I
huh?
like ice and to be in
How
snow.
often do you go back to Iceland?
We go
once
for-
a month?
Oh, I wish. No, usually we.
It seems like it.
It kind of looks like it on Instagram, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does.
The majority of December and some of January, and then usually May, and then pretty much all of August. So
Oh, okay.
when it's warmer.
That must be when I'm seeing you on social media then.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it'll be like you're doing something design and then boom, back in
I
Iceland.
know, isn't it weird? It's like, who is this guy? Like, make up your money. Are you a traveler or are you a decorator? It's very confusing. Actually, today, I think I transitioned from being on top of a volcano dressed like a spaceman to
here.
this house, yeah.
See, well, you lead an interesting life.
Very complex life.
Yeah, that's nice though. All right, well, we'll wrap it up so you can go talk to someone else, but I wanted to introduce you to Brian and show you the house and show his zany personality.
Yeah, I hope you like the house. And also, you can win the house starting October 2nd. You can sign up to win it 2 times a day.
Yeah, okay. Goodbye.